Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Nintendo Switch October the 20th until the 24th. Let's see what we've got this week, and it is a good week. Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered is finally releasing this week. It feels like such a long wait since the digital game was announced, released, then the physical announcement, and now the physical is out. Hopefully, getting the arse end of the original Lara Croft era. We're getting a mixed bag, but it is a mixed bag I am genuinely looking forward to playing. This is coming in an affordable standard edition, as well as an enticing collector's edition. I'm still not sure which one I'm gonna get, but my executive producers, Cartoon Soren, Jake Vav, Thorn Metaluna, Dave Hurstwaite, and Jimmy A. Guerrero have chosen this as their pick of the week. Once Upon a KATAMARI is releasing in North America and most of the world this week. For some reason, it appears the European release is delayed by a month. That is very strange and probably disappointing for those eager to play the latest game in the franchise and the newest entry in like a decade or more. Travel across stars and time, rolling up the universe into one comically and cosmically large ball. There's even 4-player gameplay now if you want it, and I'm really quite interested in this. It looks like it's going to be simple, primordial fun. It's also going to be on PlayStation 5, and Europe is also getting an Xbox release as well. My executive producers, The Nemo 6, Azrath, Ghost Bune, Jennifer M., Brent McLean, Jeddah Crow, Kava Clavacol, and Sora Cat have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want it or any of the games in this video, then please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comment. That is the best way to support me and this channel, and I do thank you ever so much. VGP are a really nice company with free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, which is like 54 American dollars, not that much. Plus, if you buy something with my link, you get put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Pierre-Luc P. Congratulations, you should get an email from VGP in the coming days. If you don't, just give me a heads up and I'll sort it out. But thank you so much for your support. And everyone else out there, truly, thank you so much. Double Dragon Revive is releasing this week on Switch and PlayStation 5. This is another revival of the Double Dragon series. Bimmy and Jimmy are at it again. Apparently this is set in the post-apocalypse, so not so far removed from 80s New York or wherever the first game was set. Same thing pretty much. There's some cheap looking visuals here, but it could be worse. And the game seems to be more than just a 40-minute romp beating up goons. There's like extra modes and missions, so hopefully there's money's worth to be had with this one. And my executive producer Ishin has chosen this as his pick of the week. Sports Camp, a 35-game adventure, is a video game published by Decathlon. Yes, the sports store that sells affordable but acceptable quality camping gear and frisbees is in the video game business. Who knew? 35 mini-games to waggle your Joy-Con at. It is about, 15 years late for the Wii era, but it doesn't look offensively bad, and you can take photos of wildlife, so that's at least 1 point in its favor. Bendy Lone Wolf is the second Bendy game in almost as many months on the Switch. These games are becoming more regular than my bowels, but at least it's a different kind of game. It is a top-down action roguelike, randomly generated floors, you fight for survival. Not everyone liked this change-up in gameplay, but most who took it for what it is seems to have liked it. Nice art style and atmosphere, could be a good one if you like permadeath-filled difficult action games. Hot Wheels Let's Race Ultimate Speed. Game Mill are here to poison the well of a franchise that got decent reception on the Switch with a couple of, well put together games, but this is based more on the kids show than actual toys, at least that's what I can tell, and it's releasing on Switch, PS5 and Xbox, and it's probably gonna be a bit rubbish. The Good Old Days is releasing in North America this week. Europe, I'm not entirely sure. It is coming, I just don't know when. Amazon UK says January, whereas Axis Games' website still says the autumn time, but no specific date, so we'll have to see. Anyways, this is a really cheap physical release, almost worryingly so. I shouldn't complain though, but the fact that the game looks really good, I want it to be really good. It looks like a Goonies sort of adventure. It's labeled as a Metroidvania that will take you back to the 80s as you rescue your friends and pay off your family's debt. Fingers crossed it's good because it looks great. Plus it uses a font that looks really familiar. I thought it was like either Alundra or Azure Dreams, but it's not. If anyone knows what this font is, font me up in the comments, okay, please. I'm dying to know. And my executive producers, Super Ben Julio, Viz, Instacritic, and Dead Bunny's YouTube have chosen this as their pick of the week. Chicken Run Eggstraction looks like some Lemmings or Oddworld mashup as you guide chickens to freedom. I think the trailer for this one looked extra dodgy, like animation and frame rate is not looking good, and I almost puked when I saw the classic mobile 3 stars for clearing a stage sort of thing. But if you are one of the few people who's extremely excited about the new film and the inevitable rehashed jokes, then maybe it'll be for you. I don't know. Golden Tea Arcade Classics is finally here to give closure to those who lost 20 quid of beer money during those slightly quiet evenings in the pub playing one of these games. Now you can have a one-off payment and own 8 arcade sports games in one. No quarters or 50 pences needed. The games are fun if you're into this sort of thing, and the port to console seems pretty bare bones, but I don't think Digital Eclipse would have gone all out with something as niche as this anyways. This is the kind of game you get your dad for Christmas. I don't even like golf or anything, but I'm kinda interested in it, and it's also coming out on PlayStation 5, and my executive producer Kevin W has chosen this as his pick of the week. Dora Rainforest Rescue is another Outright Games 2 this week. They're really ramping up their Christmas efforts. It's a kiddie adventure game that's truly one for the most kiddie of kids, and that's fine. It's probably going to do a decent job of weaning your kid onto video games before you move them onto, Elden Ring. And my executive producer, Surfacing for Air, he's gone rogue. It's his pick of the week. Even D's nuts saw clarity this week. Fast and Furious Arcade Edition is releasing physically in North America on Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. Sadly, in Europe, the Switch version is a code in a box, which is sad news, and I'm not being facetious here. I'm actually looking forward to seeing if this game is good or not. So if you live in Europe, you'll have to import it from North America. Like if you want to randomly state the word family as though it's meaningful while putting pedal to the metal, zooming around in what I assume is an asset swap of Cruising Blast, which was a really fun game. Like it's a no balls about it arcade racer, and it was really fun, and hopefully this is really fun too. And my executive producer Punky Dooster has chosen this as his pick of the week. KEMCO RPG Selection Volume 2 is releasing in North America this week on Switch and PlayStation 5. This came out in Japan in 2023, so it's taken a while for the North American version to materialize. Better late than never, I suppose. It's on Switch, PS4, and PS5, and this package contains As Divine Hearts 2, Revenant Dogma, Ferns Gate, and Alvastia Chronicles. By Sweet Carole, a quick mention to this, which is releasing physically this week in North America, following its European launch earlier this month. As I expected, it is a bit of style over substance. Reviews haven't been universally positive, mixed reaction overall, but from an artistic perspective, I really admire what they've done. Absolum, a quick mention to this, which was listed as releasing in North America this week, but that is wrong. Because good news, it released last week alongside the European release. Yay! A quick mention to Persona 3 Reload, which is releasing this week as a game key on Nintendo Switch 2. Boo! Alright, the low print limited pre-orders. Baki Hanma Blood Arena is Pixel Love's latest game. Feel like it's been a while since their last one. As with most of their releases, I'm guessing the standard edition will come to retail at some point in some capacity, but they have the collector's edition on their website. This is a manga franchise that has a random punch-out style game to its name. It is made by the same people who made Thunder Ray, which is a very similar game, and the consensus is that it's pretty much just an asset swap. Not a bad game, but they could have done much more with it. You can pre-order it from Pixel Love's website right now, and my executive producer, Big Bruno, of course he has, he's chosen this as his pick of the week. Banner of the Maid is Super Rare's latest Switch game, and it's finally happening. I tried for years to get this a physical release in various ways with my contacts, and even considered trying to sort it out personally if and when I had the capital, but it seems I looked away for 5 minutes, the game changed publisher, and Bob's your uncle, it's now happening. That's what happens when you have a publisher who's willing to listen. Sad, it's only 4,000 copies. I think it deserves more than that because I really like this game. It's a strategy RPG like Fire Emblem, but set in the French Revolution, and the characters speak Chinese. It's honestly good. I like the characters, I like the gameplay, just everything about it really resonates with me. So yeah, be there Thursday, 4,000 copies. Please don't let it sell out so quickly before I wake up in the morning, because for me, it goes on sale like 2 a.m. and as much as I like this, I'm not staying up till 2 a.m. to buy it, okay? And my executive producers, Adamantium, Feig, Robotech, D's Nuts, Michael Del Polito, Josh Foot, and God of Resin have chosen this as their pick of the week. Drova Forsaken Kin is Limited Run's first game this week. This is a nicely regarded action RPG. I think it's kind of like a top-down pixelated gothic, and that seems to be a good comparison. I'm reading a lot of good stuff about this game if you're into Western classic RPG style stuff. Lots of depth where each mechanic has far-reaching meaning, and you have to think about builds, not just hacking and slashing your way through any problem, which is usually my technique. But this looks like a really good game, and my executive producer Danielle O has chosen this as her pick of the week. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is Limited Run's other game this week, and it's one they promised us a good while back. Wolfenstein 2, I'm going to stop that. Wolfenstein 2 is back, but this time it's actually fully on the cartridge. If you remember back, this originally released at retail, but it was hampered by having a download required to play it. Pretty much worthless as a physical copy. So this release from Limited Run is on a fat 32GB cartridge, where hopefully it is complete on cart with updates and stuff. And yeah, there are various milkage editions available for pre-order right now, and my executive producers Lolo Jojo, Dave Horwath, and Nerdy Sean have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, the import section. If you want to import any of these, you can also do so via PlayAsia or VGP where applicable, but PlayAsia you can get 5% off with my code Jordan2025 if you click my link. Tomba Special Edition is releasing in Asia this week with English. This was done by Limited Run in North America, and it also got a recent Japanese release. Hopefully this is complete on cart with the updates like the Japanese one, rather than the Limited Run one, which had issues unless you updated it. This is a cult classic platformer from the PS1 era, and I am tempted to pick it up at some point. And my executive producer, Dane Wilkinson, has chosen this as his pick of the week. SEDAP, a culinary adventure, is releasing this week in Japan and Asia, quite affordably too, with English. This is a co-op action game where you go off to find ingredients, then come back to base and cook things. Think of it a bit like Overcooked, but slightly more adventurous, hacking and slashing as well. It got pretty mid-reviews, although most of the negative ones seems to be from people who expected a cozy type experience rather than an anxiety-inducing Hell's Kitchen type scenario. It's cool that it's split screen, nothing like a good couch co-op game. Quit Today is releasing in Japan this week. This is a cheap physical release that has you beating up your colleagues in the office. No doubt in the most epic resignation event in office history. Pretty self-explanatory this. If your colleague won't listen to your words, maybe they'll listen to your fists. You can also call on some of the more sane colleagues who can aid you in battle against the corporate speaking sheep. And it has English. And my executive producer, my man in Japan, Vei, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Truck Driver Gold Edition is releasing in Japan this week. While the West has gotten this in the base edition, this Japanese edition is golden, which I guess means the game is a sort of like Game of the Year edition with the DLC, which will make it better than the Western release, where it doesn't appear it will be getting a gold edition on Switch, at least as far as I can see. Whether this extra content is on the cartridge or not is a whole other question that I'm not qualified to answer. Japan is also getting this, which does not have English, and Japan is also getting this on Nintendo Switch 2, which is a game key. Boo! Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight, but before we do, if you are new here, please do subscribe. It will be the best thing you do today. The bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to the demand for physical media, so you're doing a bit of duty as well by subscribing. Do it! Alright, the community spotlight. Akonde sent in this photo with some of their collection, mainly a shrine to Marvelous and the Story of Season series, and it shows just how many plushies they've had over the years in the various collector's editions. Executive producer Alolo Jojo sent in this photo, one of a good few to pick up the latest Pokemon game. We're going to be seeing this a lot. And I've seen a lot of stick for this game, mainly from people posting Twitter posts on my Discord. And yeah, production-wise, it's Pokemon. You need to have low expectations from the world's best-selling franchise. Andrew R sent in this photo, picking up a quad helping of deluxe editions. Now, Corpse Party I am planning on making a video about this since the Western release is in jeopardy kind of, but I'm waiting till the Japanese edition gets a reprint before I lay down all the information. Don't want to send people into panic without an alternative. Bridget F sent in this photo with one of Limited Run's more forgettable releases, the award-winning indie games 4-in-1. Not that they're bad games or anything, it just feels like Limited Run just didn't know what to do with them. Burb sent in this photo with Dungeon and Gravestone. Maybe this is a follow-up to the discounts video I did like last week. It is a super simple game that was overpriced at launch, but honestly I quite like it. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo, showing off the reversible cover of By Sweet Carole. I don't know, if it doesn't have the Switch logo or the publisher logo or the age rating, it just feels off. Daniel C sent in this photo with some nice support for Switch 2 proper physical releases. I know Grand Bazaar has sold well. Hopefully a good chunk of the success was the Switch 2 physical. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking. Executive producer Daniel O sent in this photo with some Serenity Forge games. They're always willing to publish games at retail that otherwise may not have made it due to, the niche genre, and I do appreciate what they do. Maybe a little overpriced, but sometimes you gotta pay for it. Executive producer Dave Horwath sent in this photo with one of the Power Pro games. I don't know which one this is, but there has been one going cheap over the years, like less than $10. I think it was like $7 I bought mine for, and it may be worth giving a shot despite the language barrier. Executive producer Dead Bunny's YouTube sent in this photo getting an Eartheon from Limited Run. I've heard this game is fantastic, and if you like Mega Drive shmups, then you will definitely need to pick this one up. Executive producer Cresselak sent in this photo with loads of interesting games. Of course, my eye is drawn to the strip mahjong game. Sadly, it doesn't have English. Executive producer D's Nuts responded to me calling him out last week to prove that the nuts don't mess around. D's Nuts is a sack of his word, and here is Barbie. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo with 3 games that will be very big sellers, probably from left to right being the biggest seller to the lowest seller, but still good though. Justin B sent in this photo with the Double Ninja Rivals. Sadly, the only silver lining with Limited Run's release was potentially it having DLC on the cartridge, but no, it's not. So it's more expensive and they blocked the cheaper Asian version, so yeah, thanks Limited Run. Executive producer G Bautista 100 sent in this photo with 2 Trails games. Honestly, I might be going senile, but I thought Daybreak 2 wasn't out yet. What's the one that's coming out in like January? It's not Daybreak 3, is it? I don't know. I'm losing my mind. Executive producer Ghost Bune sent in this photo with Pokemon Legends on Switch 2. It's nice to see so many Switch 2 versions in comparison to the Nintendo Switch 1 version. Miami Heat fan 2003 sent in this photo with more imports. Again, some of them do not have English, both of which I'm sad don't have English. I would like to play the Farland collection and that Two Heart in English, but they don't have it. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo with mostly Limited Run releases. The bottom row, they feel like they were done begrudgingly, like they were obligated to do them. Executive producer Kevin W sent in this photo with Hyper Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 2, the collector's edition. I think the 3rd game is due for next week. Michael H sent in this photo with all 3 Little Nightmares releases. It wasn't until this photo that I actually looked at all the details and the cover art, and loads of things are here that are easy to miss if you don't pay attention like myself. Executive producer Super Ben Julio sent in this photo. Pizza Tower has been a popular one too. We've seen it a few times in this video already. It's funny that I would have never have given it a second thought had I only watched the trailer and not heard people's opinions. Apparently, it's a good game. Executive producer Surfsin for Air sent in this photo, again with another Switch 2 Pokemon Legends. I think this is good news for the Switch 2. I would have expected a few Switch versions sprinkled in there, but no, it's been 100% Switch 2 so far. Pretty cool. Executive producer They, My Man in Japan, sent in this photo with Lapin, which is gonna do some uncomfortable things to fans of furry characters. I think Sonic fans especially will probably be booking an appointment with their shock therapist over that character art. Alright, let's have a roundup. Treats. Alia A. Axeru. Paul S. Bent S. Cos 71. Robin H. Devil Angel, Gundam Base EX, Crobat Lover, McLaren, Rainbow Pickle Gaming, Peter C, Starvey, Twig E. Alright, if you want to send your photos, the details are on the screen right now. As always, special thanks to my executive producers over on Patreon: Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punkidusa, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Thorn Metal Luna, Vey, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Feig, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Husway and Hallworth, Sora Cat, The Nemo 6, Ghost Bune, G Bautista 100, Rose, Adamantium, Azrith, Jake Vav, D's Nuts, Jeddah Crow, Brotorius, Surfacing for Air, Justin PDC, Cookie Kid, Radio Tarancid, Danielle O, Switch Effect, Cabba Clabber Call, Nerdy Sean, Ligma, Michael Del Polito, Big Bruno, Jimmy A. Guerrero, Max Ty, Viz, Dead Bunny's YouTube, and Alolo Jojo. Thank you so much for your support, plus you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a French flag in honor of Banner of the Maid, because it's finally happening, guys. I can't claim anything on this as much as I really wanted to, unless Super Rare did actually watch my video, and it's possible. Maybe they did get the idea from it. Can I claim it? Maybe I'll claim it. Who knows? Anyways, have a fantastic day. Watch some more videos and subscribe if you haven't already, and purchase via the links below. I do greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Take care. Yes.